Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal and you are watching Little Bird Books. And for today's video, I thought that I would do a book haul. These are all the books that I have purchased, gotten, received through the months of January to June. And I am going to show them to you by genre. Okay, so the first genre that I have that I'm going to go over is my horror books. I have 7 books to show you. So let's get into those. So the first one I have is The Unloved. This is by John Saul, and I got this one in one of those little free libraries, the kind that they have on the side of the road that look like little houses, or sometimes you can find them in the mall. And the first thing that drew me is this cover. Can we just talk about how stunning this cover is? Like, it's amazing. But then the synopsis grabbed me. This book takes place in an old crumbling mansion on an island off the coast of South Carolina, which is my home state. So, you know, I had to go for it. It had points for it already. And we follow this man named Kevin. He has not lived in that house since he was young. And he gets a note from his sister who tells him, "You need to come home, that mom is sick and she is dying." So the sister all these years has been taking care of the mom. From what I gather, the mom is not a very nice person, and Kevin just does not really want to go back, but he does. He packs up his wife and his children. They go back to the family homestead, and while they are there, his mother mysteriously dies in the nursery while the door is locked. She dies under these mysterious circumstances. The door is locked. They have no idea how this woman has died, and things from the family's past start to come out. Secrets are revealed, and this house may not be all that it seems. So I'm super excited about that. That grabbed me. I was like, hello. Maybe ghosts, some kind of supernatural element, old crumbling house, South Carolina. Let's do it. So I cannot wait to get to this. I don't know when I'll pick it up, hopefully sometime soon, but I'm super excited about this. The next one I have is The Supernaturals. This is by David L. Golemon. This takes place at a retreat, so like a mansion or like some sort of camp type place called Summer Place, and we are in the past a little bit when the book first starts. It follows a man his name is Professor Gabriel Kennedy, and he wants to prove to the world that ghosts exist and that Summer Place is haunted. But while he and his team are there, tragedy befalls them. Oh, heck breaks loose, and so he becomes a washed up has-been that wants nothing more to do with Summer Place at all. Then we jump to present day, where we follow a woman named Kelly, who is the host of a reality TV show, kind of like Ghost Adventures. So they go around to different places and investigate hauntings. So she wants to investigate Summer Place, and she cannot do that without the help of a team called the Supernaturals, and of course, Professor Gabriel Kennedy. But he wants nothing to do with the project, but Summer Place has plans of its own, and it is calling him back. The next book I have is Stranded by Bracken McLeod. This is supposed to be kind of like The Thing, and it follows a group of men who are aboard a ship that is traveling through the Arctic Ocean, when all of a sudden it gets stuck, and now these men are stranded out in the Arctic. And then a mysterious illness starts to befall the men on board, and it is up to this one man to discover what is going on, and he has to figure out how he is going to help all of these men survive. And I think that's going to be super amazing. The next book I picked up is by one of my favorite authors. This author is an auto buy for me. This is Burntown by Jennifer McMahon, and her name probably will sound familiar to you if you are a horror reader. She is the author of The Winter People and The Night Sister, And Burntown is about a tiny little town in Vermont, and we follow a woman named Eva who goes by the nickname of Nico. She is a woman who lives in like the outskirts or the underbelly, the underworld of this little town in Vermont, and she is running from a man named Snakes when all of a sudden a murderer and a murderer from her past surface, and she must rely on all of the other misfits that live in the underbelly of this town if she wants to survive. So I am super excited about this. Usually Jennifer McMahon's books have a supernatural element of some sort to them, so I'm assuming that this is going to be no different. I love her writing. I love her books. She always knows how to suck me into anything, so I am super excited about this one. The next book I picked up is The Beguiled by Thomas Cullinan. This is the motion picture cover of this novel. This has been turned into a movie that stars Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst, Ella Fanning, and Colin Farrell. It is set in the time of the Civil War, and it is about a Union soldier who is found wounded in the woods. He is taken back to this plantation home where these young women live, and while they are trying to nurse him back to health, he tries to woo them, but then he discovers that these women may not be as they seem, and they may be harboring some very dark secrets. So I am super excited for this one. I am hoping that it is going to be crazy, and I think it's going to be great. The next horror book I picked up is called The Dry. This is by Jane Harper, and this book follows a federal agent whose name is Aaron Falk. He has not been back to the town that he grew up in for 20 years because when he was a child, for some mysterious reason, he and his father were forced out of town, and he has not been back since. But all of a sudden, he gets word that his best childhood friend and that childhood friend's entire family have been brutally murdered. And he gets a letter in the mail by this mysterious anonymous person that says, "Luke lied. You lied. Be at the funeral." So he goes back to his hometown to this his best friend's funeral, and he goes back during a time when there is a huge drought that is happening. And while this drought is going on, the town's secrets are starting to surface. Things are starting to be revealed from his own past, and you may even find out what happened to his best friend and why he was murdered. I've heard that Jane Harper is a really good author. I think that she writes novels that are set in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. But yeah, so I'm excited to get to this one. The next book I put in the horror category because I didn't know where to place this. So this is Welcome to Night Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. And if you don't know what Welcome to Night Vale is, where have you been? Because Welcome to Night Vale is amazing. It is a podcast, and it is like you are listening to a news radio show from this fictional town of Night Vale. And so Night Vale is a fictional town. It is set in out in the desert, and it is a town where all sorts of mysterious things happen, and there are crazy people, there are crazy characters, there are angels, there are aliens, so it's basically a town where all conspiracy theories are true. Think X-Files, but in a town. And you are listening to a man who is kind of telling you the news that is going on in this town and the news stories that are going on. So while you're listening to it, you feel like you are an occupant in this town, and it's insane. It's crazy, but it's so amazing. So if you have not checked out that podcast, I highly, highly recommend it. I know this book is going to be insane because it follows the people and the goings on in this town. So I cannot wait to read this, and I know it's going to be crazy. So that is all the horror books that I have for you. So that is all of my January through June book haul. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you have read any of the titles that I mentioned, please give me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. If you haven't, but you just saw something that caught your eye, please let me know. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like and a subscribe, and I will see you guys all in another video. Bye.